Hey all, this is Rockman HQ, and I'm here for Coleman's annual Mega March, now in 2020 flavor. When Coleman dropped this month's theme on us, and frankly the format, I was a little stumped on really what to talk about. I'm not great at rambles, and without someone to bounce stuff off of, I got kinda nothing. For a long time, I was pretty much the only Mega Man fan I knew. Like, there were kids at school who knew the guy, but the other big games like Halo, Mario, Zelda, I mean, they were the ones people talked about. I've always been the one to have to introduce people to Mega Man, and I've really only been the real hardcore fan. So I had to really think about this topic, and what moments in Mega Man have left the richest memories for me. Being a loser baby in the early 2000s, most of my friends came from forums. Several I still hold close to this day. But really thinking about it, I think one of the most controversial titles was what brought me some of the best memories in the franchise. Heck, without it, I wouldn't have met Coleman, Megatroid, Shadow Rock, or any of our beloved Mega creators. Mega Man X-Dive was more than a game, at least for me. There was a community to it, and the nights spent playing it with others over Discord are frankly some of the best Mega Man memories. Most nights, after going to the gym, cooking dinner, hanging with the wife for a bit, I'd hop in a call and just play my dailies. While as in the call varied, one person was always there, and quickly became a close friend of mine. Good old Asaph. Asaph was one of the jolliest people I've ever met. Always quick to make a joke, always trying to uplift others, and full of useful life advice. I would watch Asaph just grind out some PvP while running my missions, and man, that dude was good. Easily the best player I ever saw in the arena. I can't even count the nights we'd be playing Dive, or switch to some other game or task, and then just talk about food, workouts, other games, just, whatever. One of the things that is still vivid in my mind was a night I was grinding runs in my favorite X-Dive event, the Total Power Battle. If you're unfamiliar, in a nutshell, it was a mode based on speed and skill with a variety of characters. Asaph wasn't big on running them himself. He built characters to fight others, but he did like watching other people do crazy runs. So while grinding the event, I knew there was a secret trick to the boss, but I didn't quite know what it was. We could tell this based on the leaderboard. So me and Asaph were talking about how cool Metroid Dread was, and I by complete accident discovered the trick against the Ring-da-Bang-da wall. The excitement that shot through my earpiece from Asaph knocked me out of my chair. Dude was so happy I found it, and was excited just to see the new scores I'd get. To kind of give an idea of his excitement, at one point, Asaph had said publicly, "When you see Mega Quinn in the PvP, you gotta jump up and down yelling, 'Let's go!'" Which is pretty much exactly what he did right then and there. High on excitement, I kept playing, and he kept cheering me on. Till someone in call told us that the guy on top of the leaderboard was sweating about me and Megaquinn finding out about this trick and dethroning him. So, he was telling this other person to keep the trick under wraps, and I just thought that was scummy, so I publicly shared it everywhere. The next day, probably mid-morning, I was checking the servers, and I kept seeing Asaph posting about me, and how I was like Goku, and that I didn't want to win on technicality, I wanted to win in a fair fight. It just kind of warmed me. Never really had a friend that really supported me like he did. Mega Man opened the door to a truly magical friendship that life decided to cut short in the last week of 2023. I'm glad the Blue Bomber brought us together, even if it was just for a few years. I know it's already been a year, but man, I miss you, bro.